The Thunder need the keys to jamming the Joker, the do-it-all offensive juggernaut for the Denver Nuggets. Along with his 3 league MVPs, Jokic has climbed the NBA's highest mountain, capturing a ring and Finals MVP a few years back. We're going to get into how the Thunder keep him from getting a second ring and make their first Western Conference Finals appearance since the days of Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. But before we get into that, just want to mention that 68% of you guys watching this are not subscribed at any moment, and the Thunder put up 68 wins this season. We're trying to keep you updated with their progress through the playoffs, and just make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date with that. I'm Gabriel Ebersole here with Thunder Digest, and today we're going to talk about how the Thunder are going to manage to slow down the 3-time league MVP Nikola Jokic. And there is a reason on one hand that the Thunder are minus 900 favorites to win the series, while they're minus 9.5 favorites going into game 1. They have a well-rounded, very well-balanced, 5th most wins in regular season all-time great caliber team. On the other hand, there is a reason why the Nuggets have a puncher's chance, and that is because of Nikola Jokic. Nothing more, nothing less. This man is a beast on the court. We know that, and we saw that last series against the Clippers. When we take a look at what he did last series against the Clippers, we can just see these playoff stats, right? We see this at the bottom here for the 7 games he played for this postseason. 24, 11.5, and 10. To go along with almost 2.5 steals, and to be honest, not even just box score watching, some of the best defense I've seen Jokic play. Very sound defense all series. That needs to be noted. He really stepped up on the defensive end in the series. Now, when I look at what the Clippers did, they pushed the game to 7 series, and they honestly did a lot right guarding Jokic that I think we can take away from them. Let's start with offensive rebounding, right? We look at these offensive rebounding numbers in the postseason for Jokic's career. He's averaging 3.5 since 2018 in every season but one offensive rebounds throughout the entire postseason run. That is incredible work, incredible consistency on the glass. However, in the 7-game series against the Clippers, he only averaged 1.5 offensive rebounds. A sharp decline, and I believe that plays into what we see next, the scoring average decline down to 24. Right? We're not getting as many of these second chance putback baskets, and you see his field goal attempts at 18.3, his second lowest in the playoffs in his career. I believe that all of these things go hand in hand. I believe that keeping him off the offensive glass is what kept him from getting these easy putback attempts. And you know Jokic isn't going to force it. So his shot attempts just went down a little bit, dipped a little bit, and his scoring dipped a little bit. We need to do the same thing. We need to keep him off the offensive glass, and we need to do that physicality with Hart, physicality with Chet. We need to make sure a body is finding him at all times when the shot's going up for the Denver Nuggets, right? And then we also see these free throw decline. He's down to 5.3, right? That's his second lowest in playoff history as well. He's not getting as many of these easy chances on the putback where he's got his body in position around the basket already, where the defender is in a disadvantaged position where he might have to foul. All of these things are going hand in hand. You see his three-point attempts are up to 4.4, which is a little bit around what they were in the regular season, but that also limits it's just his shot selection. He's having to step farther away from the basket. He shot 45%, by the way. That's incredible for him. Great efficiency. He shot 50 and 45 on 24 points, so you can't knock him, right? But now we get into what the Clippers did wrong and why they lost the series and what we are going to need to improve on if we want to win, right? So first off, we see his, even though his rebounding total is tied for the second lowest in his playoff career, his defensive rebounds are the second highest. They really weren't doing a great job of keeping him off the defensive glass and pushing in transition, which is where you also see the assist total, his first time averaging double digits. This would be, if granted this is going to change throughout the rest of the postseason run, but if he would have finished right now, this would be the highest assist he's averaged in a postseason. When you go with Nikola Jokic in a playoff run, yes, he is an incredible scoring force. He's incredibly efficient, and it's hard to say that you would want him to go one-on-one, right? However, the Clippers had Zubac, who might be one of the best matchups for Jokic in the league to guard, and they still were prone to sending double teams early in the shot clock, which I wasn't really understanding why. I think that if we're going to win this series, we need to send double teams in the later third of the shot clock, so 8 seconds or less, hard double teams so that they can't swing around the perimeter, and they're going to have to just one kick and shoot. I think that if we're going to double Jokic, we are going to have to do it sparingly, and it can't be a consistent thing. I don't think it's a stretch or even like a surprise to anybody to say that Jokic is the best passing big man of all time to this point, and letting him get in that rhythm of swinging it, and then also on top of that, his teammates getting in a rhythm shooting it throughout the series, that will hurt us. We need to get physical and mostly take our chances going one-on-one with a Hartenstein matchup with Chet as the weak side help defender. We saw the Lakers do this, and we saw AD have some success doing this. I think we can replicate something like this. Now, we're going to take a look at what Jokic has been doing in the regular season as well. He put his MVP bid in, averaging 30, 13, and 10. Another a triple-double average, shooting 58% and 42% from the three-point line. I mean, we know this dude's incredible. Shooting 53% from corner threes. Jokic is the epitome of efficiency, offensive engine, right? But the thing about him being the offensive engine of his team is that, yes, the engine is powerful. It's a mega engine. But if we don't let the wheels get going on the car as well, his shooting teammates get these open in rhythm looks like we saw Russell Westbrook shooting against the Clippers. That's what they were giving up. Russell Westbrook shot 41% from three in that series because they were giving him wide open in rhythm, warm up jump shots. We cannot do that. We cannot let the team get in rhythm like this. We can't allocate all our resources to Jokic. That cannot happen. And another proof that the Clippers were allocating all their resources to Jokic, we saw his offensive rebounding numbers, 1.6 a game. The Clippers still allowed an average of 12 offensive rebounds a game during the series. They allowed double digits in 6 out of the 7 games in the series. They were stopping Jokic on the glass, but they were taking too many of their defensive resources to do it. We need to be able to create similar impact while also neutralizing the rest of the team as well. Now, how are we going to do this? We're going to have to really rely on players like Isaiah Hartenstein to go man up Jokic for a lot of the game. And obviously, this is easier said than done, leaving him on an island for most of the matchup with a little bit of help side from Chet off of maybe Aaron Gordon or a cutter help. We're going to see how Daigneault plays this. But it's going to be really, really interesting early to see how Hart's going to match up with Jokic because Hart in the paint defense, he was I believe Hart was 7th in DPOY for the year. He is a solid fundamental piece in the paint. He's going to keep Jokic from getting those easy looks around the basket. When he's going to step out into the mid-range of the three-point line, we're going to see a lot more of Daigneault and the team strategy with switching, with icing screens, with a lot of that stuff. Now, I'm confident that this team is going to be able to really step onto that with Daigneault, and I think Chet is going to play a big part in that as well in stopping these rolls to the basket and off for Jokic and also these easy pops. I think that they're going to be able to really congest the middle space there. Long arms, long reach, quick feet for Chet especially. He's going to be able to cover a lot of area. But another thing that I'm really happy with Daigneault, he talked about matching up with Jokic earlier, and he had to say his play speaks for itself. He's an incredibly tough cover because of the way he can activate his teammates and also score very efficiently himself. So at the end of the day, Daigneault's seeing what I'm seeing, that Jokic's two primary things is he's an efficient scorer. Every time he takes a shot, go in or not, it's almost always going to be a quality look, and that's why his field goal percentage is as high as it is from all areas of the court, right? But he also knows that the first thing he said is he gets his teammates these wide open looks. And when you see like MPJ, Jamal Murray, Westbrook, Gordon, these guys, whether you got Westbrook and Gordon cutting to the basket for a lob, you got MPJ or Murray spotting up for a three. These looks early are going to be the difference makers for how this series goes. Because if the Nuggets are going to get these looks early and get in rhythm, and they're going to figure out how OKC is icing these ball screens, how they're stepping out, how they're playing their help defense on the drive, it's going to be really, really difficult for OKC to start matching these adjustments later in the series. Coming out strong, we have to have a fundamentally strong game plan for Jokic and how we're going to defend him. Everyone needs to be on the same page on rotations whenever he's going to kick it, because there's going to be times that someone's going to get beat and we're going to have to double. We have to be on the same page for rotational wise. And at the end of the day, this series is meant to go to the Thunder. The Thunder are the minus 900 favorites to advance. That's almost unfathomable for a second round matchup. That's a first round matchup type of line. But the puncher's chance does sit with the Nuggets, and the reason why is because they have one of the most impactful offensive players of all time, an offensive engine of all-time status in Nikola Jokic. We saw the Clippers slow him down in a few ways. We saw why they failed in the long run. So if we just tweak a little bit of these adjustments, we're going to come out on top. We also look at Nikola Jokic in games he's lost. There's the biggest myth about Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets is that to win these games, you have to win the minutes he's off the floor. And that's how you win the game. In 39 playoff losses for Nikola Jokic, he's only had a positive plus-minus in 3 of those 39 losses. So you have to win minutes with him on the floor, and you have to figure out how to do it. When Nikola Jokic in the playoffs, right, he was averaging 7 assists in his losses. In 39 losses in his playoff career, he's averaged 7 assists. For the Clippers to come so close to eliminating, allowing him to average 10 and get all these teammate looks involved was pretty impressive. But that was the difference maker. We're going to have to cut off the teammates' access early. We can't let a guy like Russell Westbrook catch fire for a few games because he's in such a great rhythm in the series. He's shooting 41% from 3. That cannot happen. We have to establish rhythm early. We have to take him out of his element, force him to step a few feet away from the off the block that he likes. And I think the Thunder can have a successful series stopping him. I think we've seen some formulas that have worked well with the off-ball combo when the weak side defender help. And I think we've seen really good results with that one-on-one play. So it's going to come down a lot onto Hartenstein and Chet this series. I think that the boys can pull it through. And I expect Jokic to play good. He's a great player. I'm not taking anything away from Nikola Jokic. But I think the Thunder also have the tools in the bag to overcome from the team side. Let me know what you guys think. And this has been Gabriel Ebersole with Thunder Digest. I'll see you guys in the next one.